You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Road Rants for Black and White Sports. Let's talk about the NBA. As we know, they have a laundry list of terrible black eyes this year. Whether it's being okay with China, being in bed with China, embracing a Marxist organization like Black Lives Matter, or the celebration of criminals like Breonna Taylor, and most notably, the monster known as Jacob Blake. Kyle Korver has come out and made some wildly ignorant-looking comments describing the details of the virtue-signaling brave and stunning strike, pseudo-strike, boycott, where they actually didn't miss any games, they just played them at a later date. He has come out and made some comments about the monster known as Jacob Blake and how it affected that locker room. Let's take a look at this, because this is utterly insane. The Bucks took a significant step in the fight for racial justice during their time in the NBA bubble. And Milwaukee kickstarted a league-wide strike following the shooting of Wisconsin resident Jacob Blake. Bucks forward Kyle Korver discussed Milwaukee's decision to strike in a town hall at Creighton University on Sunday. Korver detailed the emotional nature the Bucks locker room, as well as the decision made by George Hill that led to the team's protest. Quote, "I just sat there with tears running down my face," Korver said, and quote, "and I'm looking at my jersey that says Black Lives Matter, and I'm like, what are we doing?" One teammate, George Hill, decided he wasn't going to play. We all just sat there and were like, we're all with you. Korver noted his role in Milwaukee's locker room as a white player as the Bucks and NBA continued their fight against racial injustice and police brutality. Quote, "It's always interesting for me as a white man in these spaces. How do I help as a white man? What do I say as a white man in this space?" Korver said. And quote, "And you know what you do? You stand with the marginalized. And when you can, you amplify your voice, you listen to their thoughts, and you listen to their ideas, and then you find out how you can help." Korver said the Bucks stayed in the locker room for hours following their decision to protest their matchup with the Magic. Milwaukee players called Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers to address the lack of action from state legislature, and they spoke with Blake's family. Okay, so that is the details of the pseudo-virtuous, brave NBA boycott for Jacob Blake. Now, on this channel, this is how we feel about Jacob Blake. Do you notice I have this picture down in the corner of the screen? That is Jacob Blake, and his head is on Hannibal Lecter's body in a straitjacket. Because you see, on this channel, we don't celebrate criminals. Not for a solitary second. Nor do common sense, law-abiding Americans. Of all the things that happened in sports this year that was filled with false narratives, filled with complete BS, a bunch of millionaire athletes preaching to us about racial oppression, and every single police quote-unquote brutality case with the backdrop of the fact that they didn't comply. None of them complied with the police. Had they complied, there would have been no shootings. There would have been nothing. Nothing to talk about, nothing to see here. Now, instead of being truly brave, Kyle, What you could have done was stand up and say, well, wait a minute. Why don't we actually protest against Jacob Blake on behalf of the lady he sexually assaulted? That would have been something, you would have broke narrative. Now that would have been brave and stunning, Kyle Korver. Instead, you fanned the flames. You didn't know what to say. Are you athletes this ignorant? And you're still talking about it. The lack of self-awareness to realize this one incident, along with like 4 or 5 other things, is the biggest reason why your league will never, ever be as successful as it once was. And really and truly, you've killed the league. You've opened the door for another basketball association to step through. Why? Because 50, 60% of America, 70% of America told you during the NBA Finals, in which your supposed biggest star ever was playing in, from your quote-unquote biggest franchise ever, the Lakers, was playing in, 70% of Americans said, we're never watching you again. Jacob Blake is one of the biggest reasons. Drew Brees looks like an idiot because he put Jacob Blake's name across his helmet. I would love Drew Brees to have been a fly on the wall when you set your children down and your wife down and said, look, guys, I know Jacob Blake's a damn rapist, but I'm going to put his name across my helmet. Because I feel like that might make, that will end racism. Well, except none of this is about race. It's about criminality. It's about complying with the law. It's about not breaking laws, regardless of what race you are. You're asking Americans to believe you're brave and that y'all were really doing something because you stepped out there for somebody that wasn't worth 2 cents? Jacob Blake? You've got to be kidding me, Kyle Korver. And you shed tears for this guy? Not his victim. Not the lady that called the cops on him because it was a domestic assault. Not for the police officer that he almost grabbed the knife and turned around to literally stab the police officer. You wasn't worried about the police officer. You didn't want to cry tears for him. You wanted to cry tears for the monster. And the NBA wonders why. Adam Silver, looking at you, you wonder why your league is an airplane in flames heading straight to the ground. A total lack of self-awareness by these players to understand none of this is about race. But it certainly is about being a law-abiding citizen. And if you're looking for us to feel terrible or think you're brave in the celebration of said criminals like Jacob Blake, you're barking up the wrong tree. It's not going to happen. I don't care what you do with this league now. This league means nothing to me. But you can bet, as long as you keep being ignorant and you guys keep opening your mouth, we're going to keep setting them up and knocking them down. The NBA is in our crosshairs. You're going to disrespect America. You're going to disrespect law enforcement. We're going to hammer you on this channel over it. I don't give 2 cents about Jacob Blake. Kyle Korver. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.